Welcome back, everyone, to yet another touchdowns to home runs. And I can't even remember when the last time we did a basketball segment was. I think it was my Chicago Bulls reaction to them picking Patrick Williams in the draft. I was shocked there, but I haven't done a basketball segment, not an NBA basketball video in a long time. So let's get into it today. We're about a month into the NBA season, and I'm going to give you guys my early predictions as if the season ended today. Who would I pick for the MVP in the NBA right now? Lots of great players, lots of great candidates. We've seen some great NBA basketball being played. It's good to see them out of the bubble and them playing in their home arenas except the Raptors, obviously, rather than in a bubble in Orlando. I feel like that it's easier on the players and it's easier for everyone when they travel like normal, and it's better for the economy and everything if you care about that, because you have flights and you have everything moving and you have fans in the stadium. So NBA basketball, it's moving. It's not what we're used to, but it's moving, and we're out of the bubble. So lots of good to look at for the NBA. If you are a big NBA fan, do me a favor, hit the like button down below and hit the sub button down below. I promise you, you will love this channel. Lots of sports content. All we do is talk about sports. So if you love sports, this is the right channel for you. Also, you could check out our podcast, TDSTOHRS Podcast. That's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast from. So let's get into this list. I'm giving you guys my top 5 as if right now, who would I say are the top candidates for the MVP? Coming in at number 5, we have from the Los Angeles Clippers, who are 3rd right now in the West, Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi's averaging 25.9 points this season, so that's basically 26. He's not, assists and rebounds aren't anything special compared to the other candidates, but they're still good. He's averaging about 5 and 5, so he's averaging 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists a game, and then he's also shooting about 50% from the field so far this season. I mean, he's leading the Clippers. He's the leader on that team. Paul George is having a pretty good season too. He's up there in terms of the guys that just missed this list. Paul George is definitely up there in terms of guys who also might have a chance if they pick up their performance for the rest of the season. He's had a decent start, but to be in the MVP contention, you need a bit more. But Kawhi Leonard leading the Clippers. They're 3rd overall in the conference right now, and he has pretty good stats, but it's just nothing comparable to what I think the guys above them are. And I've seen Kawhi a lot higher on some other lists. I've seen Kawhi at 2 in some lists, really high up there. So I have him at 5 though. I just don't think the stats match up with the other guys on this list. So coming in at number 4, we have the leader in points in all the NBA right now. Leading in points, average per game, we have Mr. Kevin Durant coming back, playing for the Brooklyn Nets, who are talent-wise one of, if not the best team in basketball right now. They're only 5th in the East right now. You see the talent that they got on that team. First of all, you got KD, you got Kyrie, you got James Harden. How are you not in first? It's beyond me, but I think that once this team gets into the playoffs and the situation changes, it feels like you're going to see a different team come out with the talent that they have on that team. So KD, I have at number 4. Obviously, I said it, averaging 30 points a game. What else is he doing? 5 assists a game, 6 assists per game. Around that, 5.8 to be exact. You got 7.6 rebounds a game, and then he's shooting 51% from the field. He'd be a lot higher up, in my opinion, if the Nets were a lot better, because part of the reason, prior to the whole factor of being able or winning the MVP, you have to do some leading on your team and get them to a good spot. And for the talent that the Brooklyn Nets have, putting him at 4, I think, is very reasonable for this team sticking at number 5 in the East when they could definitely be way higher than they are right now. Coming in at number 3, my least favorite player in the NBA, but you have to put respect on his name. Trust me, if I came out and did this biased and put all of my favorite players in this list, I would have Derrick Rose, Steph Curry, I'd have Jimmy Butler, I'd have Sindarius Thornwell, I'd have Chris Silva, if you guys even know who they are. I'd have Dennis Schroeder. Guys like that are just absurd. But that's what happens if I go out and put my favorite players in this list. It doesn't make sense. And even though this is my least favorite player in the league, I respect him because he is one of the all-time greats. I don't think he's greater than the guy I got on my jersey, Mr. MJ. By the way, drop down below MJ or LeBron, because it's an age-old question that I don't think will ever get answered, and everyone has a different opinion. It might be because I'm a Bulls fan, but of course you know who I'm talking about. LeBron James, averaging 25 points a game this season, 7 assists, and he has about 7 rebounds this season. He's doing very well for the Lakers, who find themselves at the top spot in the West this season. So far, what are they? 14-4 this season. The Lakers, yes, they have a very talented team. AD is another guy who plays counterpart to LeBron that is also close on the near miss of making this list call. But LeBron James, man, one of the all-time greats. It would be very disrespectful of me and just unprofessional to not put LeBron James on this list, even though I'm not a big LeBron James fan at all. I've said it in many videos. I think every single video I talk about LeBron James, I start off by saying, I'm not a big fan of this guy at all. I don't like LeBron, but you have to respect what he does. You have to respect the talent and the performance that he's always able to put up on the court, and that's why I have him at number 3 in the MVP race right now. Coming in at number 2, the leader of the team that is first in the East right now. You got Joel Embiid, big center for the 76ers in Philadelphia, averaging 27 points a game. Joel Embiid, the kind of down part here, he'd be a lot higher if he could average more assists. He's only averaging like 2.7, so that's about 3 a game, but he's averaging over 11 rebounds a game. That is a lot. I get it, he's a center, but he's doing really well there. And what is he? The kid's shooting 55% from the field so far this season. His team finds himself as the top spot in the East right now, and I think Joel Embiid is the main reason for that. He's played amazing this year. And part of what I said earlier, why KD was a lot lower for leading the league in points, having about 7 rebounds and 5 assists per game, the Nets are 5th in the conference. You have the 76ers at first. He's leading the team. That team is up there, and he is deserving of this number 2 spot. Number one, I think everyone knows who this is. I think it is without a doubt who I take right now for the MVP race, because this guy is basically averaging a triple-double per game. He's averaging 25 points a game, 9.3 assists. So if you add, 0.2 more, that rounds up to a 10. And then you're averaging 11.9 rebounds, shooting 56% from the field. Of course, I am talking about the one and only Nikola Jokic. The man, where is he from? He's from Slovenia or Slovakia or some kind of some kind of European country. I don't know exactly where he's from. I should know that. I feel like I really should know that. But Nikola Jokic, Denver Nuggets, my top player right now in the NBA, in the MVP race. Man, you're the only guy averaging basically a triple-double a game. If you can do that, like you saw Russ, didn't he win the MVP a couple years ago after averaging a triple-double every single game? Jokic right now, big center for the Denver Nuggets, who find themselves at 4 in the West right now. Yes, it could be better, but you average a triple-double a game. Your team's still in the playoffs. He is deserving of the MVP right now, and I think by a pretty long shot. Embiid's up there, but I don't think he's close to Jokic right now. Jokic is on another level. He is my MVP right now. If the NBA season ended today and I had to pick an NBA MVP right now. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely like down below. All NBA fans, subscribe, hit that sub button down below, comment anything about basketball, and thank you for watching, and definitely come back next time.